Okay, this is how you coil a rope to fit on a pack that doesn't have a pack lid. Get your jail tail out of the way. Watch out, you don't want to get whipped in the eye.
No, that's...
Rope tricks.
So what's your fastest time?
Oh. I know some guys who used to have competitions like that, but I wasn't one of them. Look at it. Sun's over there somewhere.
And every morning that I wake up and I'm breathing, I'm happy.
It's the little things in life.
Yeah.
Hey Wayne, here's mine. Why don't I have some Frito-Lays, Wayne? I know that climbing called to me in my young life, and I had the kind of nascent intelligence to respond to it. And it was an amazing positive force in my life. But you know, I knew a lot about climbing and learned a lot about how climbing systems worked from Royal Robbins books, and practiced them in the basement and on buildings in Calgary. And yeah, finally in grade 11, I got the chance to go out. So that would have been 1976, with a buddy who'd taken a weekend introductory rock climbing course and bought some gear. And we went to Wasatch Slabs in the Kananaskis, and he went, I don't know, 20 feet up a crack and got gripped out of his skull and came down. I said, let me try, and I got to the top of it. So I basically learned to climb by leading. I led everything for 2 years. And you know, at the end of the 2-year mark, we broke the 5-6 barrier, which was huge in those days. And it's so laughable because, you know, people will climb 5-6 their very first day in the gym. But yeah, a different time. Yeah. So yeah, if you do the math, what is it, 76? What is it now? It's nearly been 40 years, I guess. Yeah, it's pushing on 40 years. 38 years, yeah. You know, it's basically my life, because I'm a professional mountain guide, so it's the way I make my living. So I'm climbing or skiing or mountaineering, ice climbing, you know, pretty much all the time. All the time that people go to work and do what they do in their lives, I'm climbing, doing all that stuff. And then on my days off, often I'm doing it too. So yeah, I do love it. And it's interesting to see how it changes over time. It's not what it was, you know, in my 20s or 30s, but it's still there. It's always there. And yeah, it'll always be there. It's interesting that way. It's a lifetime commitment and pursuit, so yeah. Ice climbing can flow. You know, at times it does flow, even on virgin ice, even on virgin brittle ice. Everything just lines up, and it's kind of comparable to rock climbing in that, you know, you just do everything right, and you're just dancing up the rock, you know, and everything's working out. And ice climbing's like that sometimes. Not often, especially as you start to push the more push your own envelope. It's going to be in one rope length. You're going to have probably some of that. Then you're going to have some of it that's really challenging and complicated. Some of it you're just going to hate and will curse and want to, have a laser come in and melt it out of spite. And I think it's that's a really, it's a great roller coaster, and over time you get to know yourself well enough that you pretty much know you're going to make it through it. And that's an interesting process to get to the top. And then, ultimately, some of the ice is really beautiful, linear, glowing, mercurial, turquoise, emerald substance that just draws your eye on the side of a mountain. It just is one of the features on a mountain that says climb here. And if you can climb one of those and come down and look back and say, wow, that was really cool. And you'll remember the passages, some of the worst passages I had when I was learning it that were really, really vicious, difficult for me. I flappered every knuckle and could see the pink blood coming through the gray Dockstein mitts. And it was a brutal slugfest. It was it was going up against Muhammad Ali. And like me going against Muhammad Ali. And Muhammad Ali is Muhammad Ali, It's really gonna hurt. And if you're lucky, you survive. But you get down to the bottom and then you also remember the really good passages where it all flowed. And then, I don't know, sometimes the whole, those types of passages aren't there, or they're minimal. And you look back and go, wow, look at that thing. We climbed that thing. Jeez, little old us.
Man, that is a tight package you got there.
I came down from Assiniboine a couple of years ago, and Sepp Renner saw me with a coil like this, and he said, "Oh, I'm so glad to see that some other guys coiled their ropes like that still. When I do that, Natalie says to me, 'Dad, that's how you know you're an old guy.'" That's okay, because I am old guy.